You ever have one of those moments where everything you've worked for, every sleepless night, every rejection, every person who told you you'd never make it, suddenly crystallizes into something real? Something you can touch, walk through, wake up in? That's what the villa was for me. $2 million. Oceanfront. Not just a house, a statement. The kind of place that makes people stop scrolling and stare. Infinity pool that bleeds into the horizon like the water never ends. Marble floors, so smooth they look like liquid glass. Floor-to-ceiling windows framing the kind of view people buy paintings of, except this was mine. Every morning, every sunset, mine. I bought it with money I made myself. No inheritance, no lucky breaks. Just 12 years of coding in a garage that smelled like instant noodles and desperation, building a tech startup everyone said would fail. My parents didn't believe in it. My friends thought I was wasting my 20s. And my sister, Vanessa, made sure I knew exactly how pathetic she thought I was. But I did it anyway. And when my company got acquired, when that wire transfer hit my account and I realized I'd never have to worry about rent or ramen again, I didn't buy a Lamborghini or a Rolex. I bought peace. I bought space. I bought this villa, 3 hours up the coast, where the only sound is waves and seagulls and my own thoughts. I was sitting on the terrace that morning, coffee in hand, watching the sun turn the ocean into molten gold. 3 days into ownership, and I still couldn't believe it was real. The salt air, the warmth on my skin, the fact that no one could take this from me. Then my phone rang. Vanessa. I hadn't heard from her in over a year. Not since she forgot to invite me to her wedding because I wouldn't fit the vibe with her new husband's country club friends. The last time we spoke, she'd laughed when I told her about the acquisition. Not a proud laugh, a skeptical one, like she was waiting for the punchline. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity, stupid, stubborn curiosity, made me swipe green. Hey bro! Her voice was bright, bubbly, the kind of tone people use when they want something. So I heard about your new place. That's amazing. Seriously, so proud of you. I didn't say anything. Just waited. Anyway, listen. Me and a few friends are doing this girls' trip, and we were thinking, your villa would be perfect. We're actually already on the road. Should be there in, like 40 minutes. My stomach dropped. Wait. What? Yeah. There's gonna be 15 of us. Super chill, super fun. Just make sure you got beds ready. Oh, and towels, slippers, the whole deal. We're thinking seafood for dinner tonight. Something fancy, you know? And we'll probably stay about 3 weeks. Maybe longer if we're vibing. This is gonna be epic. 15 people. 3 weeks. 40 minutes. She wasn't asking. She was telling me. Like my home, my sanctuary, the thing I'd bled for, was just some Airbnb she could commandeer whenever she felt like it. I sat there, phone pressed to my ear, staring at the ocean. And slowly, a smile spread across my face. Not a happy smile. A smile that promised consequences. Sure, Vanessa, I said, voice calm as the water in front of me. Come on over. She squealed. Oh my God, you're the best. Okay, see you soon. The line went dead. I set my phone down, took a sip of coffee, and started making calls. Before I tell you what I did next, you need to understand something. This wasn't about a phone call. This wasn't about a villa. This was about years. Vanessa was always the golden child, the one who could do no wrong, the one our parents fawned over while I got lectures about responsibility and realistic expectations. When she turned 16, they bought her a car, cherry red convertible, brand new. When I turned 16, they handed me a bus pass and told me to get a job. I'm not bitter about that. Not really. Parents play favorites. It happens. But Vanessa didn't just accept the favoritism. She weaponized it. When I started my business at 22, working 80-hour weeks in a garage that flooded every time it rained, Vanessa would show up at family dinners and mock me in front of everyone. Still playing with computers in your garage? When are you getting a real job, Marcus? She'd laugh, and everyone else would laugh too, because Vanessa was charming. Vanessa was successful. Vanessa had a marketing degree and a condo downtown and a boyfriend who worked in finance. I asked her for help once. Just once. I needed $500 to keep my servers running for another month. I was 3 weeks away from landing a client that would change everything, but I was hemorrhaging cash and couldn't make payroll. She looked at me like I'd asked her to donate a kidney. "I'm not funding your fantasy," she said. "Maybe this is the universe telling you to grow up." I didn't get the money. I sold my car instead. Took the bus for 2 years. But I kept the company alive. And I landed that client. And then another. And another. When the acquisition happened, when the news broke that my garage hobby had just been bought for 8 figures, Vanessa was the first person to text me. "So proud of you, bro. Always knew you'd make it. We should celebrate soon." I didn't respond. Then came her wedding. I saw the invitations go out on social media, gorgeous calligraphy, wax seals, the works. I waited for mine. Checked the mail every day for 2 weeks. It never came. I called her. Asked if maybe it got lost. "Oh," she said, voice dripping with fake sympathy. "Yeah, about that, Greg and I decided to keep it intimate. And honestly, with your whole situation, we just thought you wouldn't really vibe with the crowd. You understand, right? My situation." She meant my money, or what she thought was my lack of it. She didn't know about the acquisition yet. I'd kept it quiet, still reeling from the reality of it. To her, I was still the broke little brother who lived in a garage. But even if I had been broke, even if I'd shown up in a thrift store suit and borrowed shoes, I was her brother. And she didn't want me there because I'd embarrass her. That was the last time we spoke. Until today. Until she called. Not to apologize, not to reconnect, but to use me. To treat my villa, the culmination of everything I'd sacrificed, everything I'd built, like a free vacation resort for her and her influencer friends. She didn't ask if I had plans. Didn't ask if I wanted company. Just assumed I'd drop everything and play host to 15 strangers because Vanessa wanted me to. And that smile I mentioned earlier, the one that spread across my face when she told me she was 40 minutes away, that wasn't forgiveness. That wasn't excitement to see my sister. That was the moment I decided Vanessa was about to learn a lesson she should have learned a long time ago. Respect isn't optional. Boundaries aren't negotiable. And family doesn't get a free pass to treat you like garbage. I finished my coffee, set the cup down, and made a phone call. One call that would turn Vanessa's dream vacation into something she'd never, ever forget. The first call was to James, my property manager. James is ex-military, mid-50s, the kind of guy who can organize a wedding or evacuation with the same ruthless efficiency. He picked up on the second ring. "Marcus, what's up?" "I need a favor," I said. "And I need it done in 35 minutes. I heard him sit up straighter. "Talk to me." "My sister and 14 of her friends are about to descend on the villa. Uninvited. They're expecting a free 3-week vacation with full service. I want to let them in, but I want them to regret every second of it." There was a pause. Then James laughed. Low, dark, knowing. "I'm listening. Here's what we did. First, James drafted a guest agreement. Not a casual, hey, sign this for insurance thing. A legally binding contract with teeth. It included clauses for property damage, noise violations after 10 p.m., a maximum occupancy clause, which 15 people would immediately violate, and a daily rental rate of $500 per person. Do the math. 15 people. $500 each. That's $7,500 a day. For 3 weeks, that's over $150,000. The agreement was worded to sound like standard vacation rental paperwork, boring legalese that most people skim and sign without reading. But every word was ironclad. James had used it before for actual rentals. It would hold up in court. Second call was to Rebecca, my lawyer. She'd handle the acquisition, knew me well enough to understand when I was serious. "Rebecca, I need you on standby. My sister's about to sign a rental agreement she thinks is a formality. If she tries to back out or dispute charges later, I need you ready to enforce it." "How much are we talking?" "Potentially 6 figures. She whistled. "She actually signing this willingly. She'll think it's just paperwork. Brutal. I love it. Send me the doc when she signs. I'll have everything ready." Third step. I activated every security camera in the villa. 16 cameras total. Living room, kitchen, pool area, hallways, entrances. All motion activated, all recording to cloud storage. If Vanessa or her friends broke anything, trashed anything, or violated any clause in that agreement, I'd have evidence. Fourth, I called a local security company and had them install temporary noise monitors. 3 of them, positioned around the property. Any noise violation after 10 p.m. would trigger an automatic alert to my phone with decibel readings and timestamps. Fifth, and this was my favorite part, I stripped the villa. Not completely. It still looked nice in photos, but I removed or locked away everything valuable. The original artwork I just bought? Gone, replaced with cheap prints from HomeGoods. The Bose sound system? Swapped for a basic Bluetooth speaker. The premium liquor in the bar? Locked in the garage, replaced with bottom-shelf vodka and boxed wine. I even swapped out the mattresses. The villa had come with these insanely expensive memory foam beds, $12,000 each. I had James replace them with standard IKEA mattresses. Firm, functional, but decidedly not luxury. The Egyptian cotton sheets Vanessa probably expected, switched for basic Target linens. The chef service I'd booked for the month? Cancelled. The pre-stocked fridge, full of organic groceries and imported cheeses? Emptied. The concierge who could arrange spa days and yacht rentals? Dismissed. What Vanessa and her friends would find was a nice house. Clean, functional, beachfront. But not the 5-star resort experience she was clearly expecting. And every complaint, every tantrum, every demand for something I hadn't provided would be met with the same calm response. It's in the agreement. James finished everything with 8 minutes to spare. I stood at the entrance in a linen shirt and sunglasses, clipboard in hand, watching the driveway. At exactly 11:40 a.m., 3 rented SUVs pulled up, music blasting, windows down. I could hear laughter and screaming before they even parked. Vanessa hopped out first, designer sunglasses, sundress, arms spread wide like she was arriving at a resort. "Marcus!" she squealed, running toward me. I held up the clipboard, smiled. "Welcome to Villa Karma," I said. "Just need you to sign a quick guest agreement before we get you settled." Her smile faltered. "Just for a second. Guest agreement. Standard stuff. Insurance purposes." She waved a hand. "Sure, whatever." She didn't even read it. Just signed her name at the bottom, handed it back, and turned to her friends. "Let's go." I watched them flood into the villa, chaos incarnate, and felt that smile return. This was going to be fun. The first thing Vanessa said when she walked into the villa was, "Where's the champagne?" I blinked. "Champagne. Yeah, like a welcome toast or whatever. That's what nice places do, right?" "Oh," I said, voice calm. "I didn't arrange that. But there's a liquor store about 10 minutes down the coast. They deliver." Her smile tightened. "You didn't stock the bar?" "I stocked it with basics. Vodka, wine mixers. If you want champagne, you're welcome to order it yourself." One of her friends, blonde, early 20s, Instagram bio probably says influencer and manifesting, leaned in. "Wait, we have to buy our own alcohol." "You're guests," I said. "Not royalty." The energy shifted. Just slightly. Vanessa laughed it off, but I saw the flicker of irritation in her eyes. By hour 2, the complaint started. "These towels are so rough. The Wi-Fi is, barely working." It wasn't. I'd throttled the guest network to basic speed only. "There's no coffee. Not even an espresso." I stayed calm. Helpful, even. "There's a French press in the kitchen. Coffee's in the pantry. Help yourself." That night, they threw a party. Music blasting. Bass, so loud I could feel it vibrating through the walls from the guest house where I'd moved my stuff. People jumping in the pool, fully clothed. Someone tried to open the locked liquor cabinet and nearly broke the handle. At 2:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. Noise violation alert. 87 decibels detected. Duration, 14 minutes. I didn't go outside. Didn't yell. Just screenshot the alert and save it to a folder labeled evidence. The next morning, I walked into the kitchen at 9 a.m. Vanessa and 3 of her friends were sitting at the island, looking exhausted and annoyed. "Morning," I said, pouring myself coffee. "Where's breakfast?" Vanessa asked. I glanced at her. "What do you mean?" "Breakfast. You didn't make anything." "I didn't arrange catering, no." Her jaw dropped. "You're seriously not feeding us?" "There's a grocery store 10 minutes away," I said. "Eggs, bacon, bagels, whatever you want." Kitchens fully stocked with equipment. We're guests, Marcus. And the agreement specifies I provide the space, not the service. What agreement? I pulled out my phone, scrolled to the PDF, and held it up. The one you signed yesterday. She stared at me. I thought that was just for insurance. It's a rental agreement. You signed it. It's binding. One of her friends, brunette, nose ring, clearly the one who'd been complaining the most, snorted. This is insane. We came here as family. Family asks before showing up with 15 people for 3 weeks, I said. Voice still calm. Still polite. Family doesn't demand champagne and catering. Vanessa's face went red. She stood up, grabbed her phone, and stormed out onto the terrace. I finished my coffee, rinsed the cup, and went back to the guest house. By day 2, the cracks were showing. One of Vanessa's friends broke a glass sculpture in the living room, one of the cheap replacements I'd planted. I heard the crash, walked over, and calmly added it to the damage invoice. $50. She tried to argue it was an accident. Accidents are covered in the agreement, I said. Under property damage. You're responsible. Another friend complained the mattresses were too firm. I explained I'd switched to standard models for rental purposes. This is supposed to be a luxury villa, she snapped. It's a rental villa now, I said. If you'd like to book a hotel, I can recommend a few. By midday, half the group was bickering. Some wanted to leave. Others wanted to make it work. Vanessa was caught in the middle, trying to keep everyone happy while also seething at me. She called our parents. I know because Mom called me 20 minutes later. Marcus, what's going on? Vanessa says you're charging her to stay at your house. She showed up unannounced with 15 people and demanded I host them for 3 weeks. I drew up a rental agreement. She signed it. Silence. Then, you should have just said no. I did, I said. In writing. She signed it anyway. Mom sighed. Just try to be kind, okay? She's your sister. She didn't extend me the same courtesy, I said, and hung up. That night, another party, another noise violation. And Vanessa was just getting started. Day 3. That's when Vanessa went nuclear. I woke up to my phone exploding. Texts, DMs, emails, all from people I hadn't heard from in years, college friends, old coworkers, even a few clients. Dude, what's going on? Is this true? Really disappointed in you, man. I opened Instagram. Vanessa had posted a video. Her, sitting on the villa terrace, makeup smudged, eyes red like she'd been crying. The caption read, "When family shows their true colors, broken heart." I pressed play. So, I don't usually do this, she started, voice shaky. But I feel like I need to speak my truth. My brother, who I love, who I've always supported, invited me and my friends to his new villa. We were so excited. Like, this was supposed to be a bonding trip, you know? A chance to reconnect. I felt my blood pressure spike. But the moment we got here, everything changed. He handed me this contract. Demanded we pay him $500 per person per day. That's $7,500 a day. For family. He's treating us like we're strangers. Like we're, I don't know, criminals or something. She wiped her eyes. He won't feed us. Won't provide basic hospitality. He's got cameras everywhere, watching us like we're gonna steal something. And when I try to talk to him about it, he just shut me down. Said I signed the contract, so I'm stuck. Her voice cracked. I don't understand how someone I grew up with, someone I loved, could be this cold, this greedy. I guess money really does change people. The video ended. It had 12,000 views already. And climbing. The comments were brutal. This is disgusting. Family should never treat family like this. Charging your own sister? What kind of monster? She's literally crying. This guy is a sociopath. My hands were shaking. She twisted everything. Made herself the victim. Made me the villain. And her influencer friends? They were amplifying it. Reposting the video. Adding their own commentary. Hashtag toxic family. Hashtag entitled. Hashtag fake success. Within 3 hours, the video had 50,000 views. Someone tagged my company's Instagram page. Then my LinkedIn. Then a few mid-tier drama blogs picked it up. By noon, I was getting emails from people I'd done business with, asking if everything was okay, and if the rumors were true. My reputation, my business, was being dragged through the mud. I wanted to scream. Wanted to post my own video, show the receipts, the phone call recording, the signed agreement. But I didn't. Because I knew Vanessa. I knew if I reacted emotionally, if I went on the offensive too soon, it would just make me look worse. The angry, greedy brother lashing out at his crying sister. So I called Rebecca. Have you seen it? I asked. Yep. Already downloaded and archived the video in case she deletes it. What do I do? Nothing. Yet. Let her dig the hole. Let her followers amplify it. Let her think she's winning. Then we hit back with everything. And if my business tanks in the meantime, it won't. Trust me, the truth always wins. But only if you present it right. I hung up, took a breath, and went back to documenting. That night, things at the villa spiraled. One of Vanessa's friends, drunk, angry, looking for a fight, smashed a decorative vase in the hallway. Not one of my cheap replacements. An actual piece I'd forgotten to remove. Worth $800. I heard the crash. Walked over. The girl was standing there, shards at her feet, defiant. Oops, she said. Not sorry. Mocking. I pulled out my phone. Took a photo. That's $800, I said. Add it to your tab. She lunged at me. I stepped back. She missed. One of her friends grabbed her, pulled her away. You're insane, she screamed. Vanessa's right about you. You're a psycho. I didn't respond. Just saved the photo and walked away. Another noise violation that night. Third one in 3 days. By day 5, 6 of Vanessa's friends had left. Packed their bags, called Ubers, and disappeared without saying goodbye. The ones who stayed, they weren't there out of loyalty. They were there because they'd already committed to the trip, posted about it online, and didn't want to look like quitters. Vanessa was isolated, desperate, doubling down on her lies because admitting the truth that she tried to exploit me and it backfired would destroy her image. But I wasn't done. Not even close. Because the thing about Vanessa, she'd never learned that actions have consequences, and I was about to teach her. On day 6, I posted my response. Not a rant, not an emotional breakdown. Just a calm, methodical presentation of facts. The video was 12 minutes long. I titled it, When Family Tries to Use You, the Full Story. It opened with me sitting in the guest house. Same calm energy I'd maintained the entire week. By now, some of you have seen my sister's video, I started. The one where she claims I invited her here, then blindsided her with fees and treated her like a criminal. I want to address that. Not with emotions. Not with attacks. Just with facts. I pulled up the first piece of evidence, the phone call recording. This is the call I received 6 days ago. I played it. Vanessa's voice, chipper and entitled, telling me she and 14 friends were 40 minutes away. Demanding beds, towels, food, a 3-week stay. No ask. No, is that okay? Just demands. I didn't invite her, I said. She invited herself. Next, the guest agreement. After that call, I drafted this. A standard vacation rental agreement. It includes clauses for property damage, noise violations, and a daily rate. This isn't unusual. If you've ever rented a house on Airbnb or VRBO, you've signed something similar. I show the signature. Vanessa's signature. Dated and timestamped. She signed this willingly. I explained it was for insurance purposes. She didn't read it. That's not my fault. Next, the security footage. I showed clips. The first night party. People jumping in the pool. Music blasting past 2 a.m. The broken vase. The attempted break-in to the locked liquor cabinet. These are noise violations. Property damage. All documented. All violations of the agreement she signed. Then I showed the noise monitor data. 3 alerts. All after 10 p.m. All with timestamps and decibel readings. This isn't me being cruel. This is me enforcing boundaries. Finally, I showed screenshots. Old texts from Vanessa. The ones where she mocked my business. The ones where she refused to help when I needed it. The wedding invitation I never received. This isn't about money, I said, looking directly at the camera. This is about respect. 4 years, my sister treated me like I was beneath her. Mocked my dreams. Excluded me from major life events. And the moment I found success, she didn't apologize. She didn't try to reconnect. She tried to use me. I leaned forward. I don't owe anyone access to my life. Not even family. Especially not family who only show up when they want something. I ended the video with this. Vanessa, if you're watching this, I don't hate you. But I'm done being your doormat. You signed an agreement. You violated that agreement. And yes, you'll be billed accordingly. If you want to dispute it, my lawyer is ready. If you want to apologize and have an actual conversation, I'm open to that too. But the days of you walking all over me, those are over. I posted it at 9 p.m. By midnight, it had 200,000 views. By morning, over 1 million. The comments were overwhelmingly supportive. Finally, someone standing up to entitled family members. This is the most satisfying thing I've ever watched. The receipts, the timestamps, the calm delivery. Chef's kiss. Vanessa's influencer friends started deleting their posts. Quietly. No apologies. Just gone. Her original video started getting ratioed. People flooded the comments with links to mine. Girl, he has evidence. You lied. You signed the contract. Own it. This is why you read before you sign. By day 7, Vanessa's follower count had dropped by 15,000. Her remaining friends packed up and left that morning. No goodbyes. Just gone. At 3 p.m., there was a knock on the guest house door. I opened it. Vanessa stood there. No makeup. Hair in a messy bun. Eyes red and swollen. Can we talk? She whispered. I stepped aside. Let her in. She sat on the couch, hands in her lap, staring at the floor. For a long time, neither of us said anything. Then she broke. I'm sorry, she said, voice cracking. I'm so sorry, Marcus. You're right. About everything. I was awful to you. I used you. I didn't even realize how awful I was being until I saw your video and... God, I sounded like such a monster. She looked up at me, tears streaming. I was jealous. I've always been jealous. You worked so hard and I just coasted. And when you started succeeding, it made me feel like a failure. So I tore you down because it was easier than facing my own shit. I sat down across from her. You hurt me, Vanessa. For years. I know. And you can't just apologize and expect everything to be okay. I know, she said again. I don't expect that. I needed you to hear it. From me. Not some fake Instagram apology. I'm sorry. And I'll pay for the damages. And the rental fees. All of it. I looked at her. Really looked. And for the first time in years, I saw my sister. Not the villain. Not the monster. Just a broken person who'd finally hit rock bottom. You can stay 2 more days, I said. Figure out your next move. But after that, you're gone. And if you want any kind of relationship with me going forward, it starts with honesty. Real honesty. She nodded. Okay. And Vanessa? Yeah. Get help. Therapy. Whatever you need. Because this, I gestured between us, this can't happen again. She wiped her eyes. I will. I promise. For the first time in a week, I felt something other than anger. I felt hope. Fragile. Uncertain. But hope. Vanessa left 2 days later. No drama. No big goodbye. Just a quiet thank you and a promise to stay in touch. I didn't believe her. Not fully. But I respected that she'd owned her mistakes. 3 weeks later, she posted something on Instagram that shocked me. It wasn't a cute apology. It wasn't a what I learned carousel post designed to rehab her image. It was raw. Her, sitting in her apartment. No filter, no makeup, looking exhausted. I owe a lot of people an apology, she started. Especially my brother. A few weeks ago, I tried to use him. I showed up at his house uninvited, with a bunch of people, and expected him to just take care of us. Like we were entitled to his space, his time, his energy. And when he set boundaries, I lost it. I lied about what happened. I tried to make him look like the bad guy because I couldn't handle being called out. She paused, wiping her eyes. The truth is, I've been a terrible sister. For years. I mocked his dreams. I excluded him from my life. And the moment he found success, I didn't celebrate him, I resented him. Because his success highlighted how little I'd done with my own life. Her voice cracked. I'm not posting this for sympathy or likes. I'm posting this because I need to be accountable. I hurt someone I love, and I can't move forward until I own that. She ended the video with this. I'm taking a break from social media. I'm starting therapy. I'm working on becoming someone I can actually be proud of. And Marcus, if you see this, thank you. For holding up a mirror. Even when it hurt. The video had 3 million views in 2 days. The comments were complicated. Some people applauded her. Others said it was too little, too late. A few still hated her. But I didn't care what strangers thought. I cared that she'd done it at all. I texted her, "Proud of you." She replied 2 hours later, "Thank you. That means everything." Over the next few months, we started texting occasionally. Nothing deep. Just check-ins. How's therapy going? Good. Hard. But good. Started a new job. Marketing, but for a nonprofit. Feels different. Better. Mom asked about you. I told her we're working on things. Slowly, carefully we rebuilt. Not the relationship we'd had before. That was gone. Burned to ash by years of toxicity. But something new. Something honest. We met for coffee 6 months after the villa incident. Neutral ground. A cafe halfway between her apartment and mine. It was awkward at first. Small talk. Weather. Traffic. Then she said, "I'm 8 months sober." I looked up. Sober. Yeah. Turns out I was using alcohol to deal with a lot of shit I wasn't facing. Therapy helped me see that. I'm proud of you, Vanessa. Seriously. She smiled. Small. Genuine. I'm trying. I'm really trying. We talked for 2 hours. About everything. Our parents. Our childhood. The ways we'd both been hurt, and the ways we'd hurt each other. It wasn't perfect. We didn't hug or cry, or have some movie moment reconciliation. But it was real. And that was enough. A year after the villa incident, Vanessa sent me a letter. Handwritten. 6 pages. In it, she thanked me. Not for the villa. Not for the wake-up call. But for refusing to let her get away with treating me like garbage. "You were the first person in my life who ever held me accountable," she wrote. "And I hated you for it. But it saved me." I sat on the villa terrace, letter in hand, and realized something. This was never about revenge. It was about boundaries, dignity, self-respect. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is refuse to enable someone, even when they hate you for it. 2 years later, Vanessa called me on my birthday. "Hey," she said. "I know we haven't talked in a while, but I wanted to say happy birthday. And I have something to tell you." "Okay." I got engaged. I smiled. "That's amazing, Vanessa. Congratulations." "Thanks. And I want you at the wedding. For real this time. Not as an afterthought. As my brother." My throat tightened. "I'd love that." "There's one more thing," she said. "I told Greg everything. About the villa. About how awful I was to you. And he said if you're willing, he'd like to meet you. Said any guy who can stand up to his sister like that is someone worth knowing." I laughed. I like him already. The wedding was small. Intimate. 50 people, most of whom I didn't know. But I was there. In the front row. And when Vanessa walked down the aisle, she caught my eye and mouthed, "Thank you." At the reception, she pulled me aside. "I've been thinking a lot about the villa," she said. "About that moment when you handed me the guest agreement, and I signed it without reading. I was so mad at you. But looking back, you gave me exactly what I needed. A boundary. A line I couldn't cross. You deserve respect," I said. "Even from me." I didn't act like it. "No. But you do now." She hugged me. Tight. Real. "I love you, Marcus. I love you too." 3 months later, I sold the villa. Not because I had to. Not because of bad memories. But because it had served its purpose. It wasn't just a house. It was a statement. A lesson. A turning point. And I didn't need it anymore. I bought a smaller place. Still by the ocean. Still peaceful. But without the weight of everything that happened there. The new house is just mine. No ghosts. No drama. Just space to breathe. Vanessa and I talk every few weeks now. Sometimes more. We're not best friends. Probably never will be. But we're siblings. Real ones. And that's enough. On the anniversary of the villa incident, I got a text from her. 2 years since I showed up uninvited and you changed my life. Best worst decision I ever made. Love you, bro. I smiled. Typed back. Love you too. Don't ever do that again. She sent a laughing emoji. Then, never. Promise. I sat on my new terrace, coffee in hand, watching the sun rise over the water. And I thought about that smile I'd given Vanessa 2 years ago. The one that promised consequences. It wasn't about revenge. It was about knowing my worth. About refusing to be used, even by family. About setting boundaries and standing firm, even when it hurt. And that, more than any villa, any career, any amount of money, that's priceless.